Hi, and welcome to the MyMuse instruction videos. This is number 2. I'm going to show you how to configure your store. You can get to the store by going to Components, MyMuse Store, or if you have MyMuse up already, you can click on the Store link. On the Store screen, let's look at the details first. You want a name for your store, alias, you can leave blank, MyMuse will fill it in. You can choose from several different Flash players to show off your previews. If you change one, your page will refresh to show you what you've chosen. Now, MyMuse creates a couple sections so you can present your products either by artist or by catalog, for instance by different genres. You don't have to change these unless you've changed your sections, and you can update the section ID here. MyMuse also creates a section and a category to put review articles in, and here you tell MyMuse what the ID for that review is. Now you can make a description for your store. This is the default page for MyMuse unless you change it. On the right side of the screen you can fill in the contact information. All this will be shown to the customer on all the emails. You also want to upload a logo that will appear on your emails, and you can put the path to it here. Also select your default currency. These are the currencies that PayPal supports. Now let's look at the store parameters. They're grouped into a bunch of sections. You might want to adjust how your currency is displayed, the thousands separator, decimal point, whether the currency symbol is before or after. MyMuse offers 3 kinds of registration. If you're selling products that you want to ship, then you want full registration. If you're selling products and you think people will want to come back and still need an account, you can do a Joomla style registration. We also ask for their country and state so we can determine taxes. Or you can choose no registration. We use a dummy account to log them in. The information we collect is saved in the individual order. If you're only selling downloads, and especially if you don't think they need an account, this is the quickest way to get people through your site. You can set whether the state is required or not. Now we have a section on download options. Should they be enabled? What's the maximum number of times they can download a file? When does the download expire? The default is 5 days. You can set the order status that will enable downloads or disable downloads. You can save your files in a database. This may be the most secure, but as it says here, it's experimental, perhaps only for database experts. MyMuse sets up a download directory for you. It may be possible to put this outside your web root. The default is to put it in the images folder. If you can put it outside the web root, then your files will be safe from pirates trying to access it through your web server. If you're using Apache web server, MyMuse will put a .htaccess file in this directory, which should stop bad downloads. We also create a preview directory that you can change if you like. You can encode the file names, and this will create a 32-bit hash for the file name. So even if a pirate is able to access your download directory, they would have to guess your 32-bit name, which is never revealed to the clients. Now we have some store options. Do you want to use coupons? Do you want to use shipping? Do you want to tax the shipping? Do you want to use stock? You'll have to enter the number of products that you have. If you check stock, then MyMuse will deduct numbers from the stock as they're sold. If you check stock and your number of products is at 0, it won't let the order go through. You have the option to CC another person, a webmaster, and if you do, then you want to give a name and an email. The continue shopping link by default goes to present your store description, but you can change that here. You may want to change your date format. If it looks too hard for you, you can look it up on php.net. The default shopper group is 1. Only change this if you set up other shopper groups and you want to change the default. There are a couple of testing options. You can have turn on shop test, which just accepts all orders, and this way you can run a few orders and make sure everything's working properly. Debug MyMuse will save payment messages to a file. So if you're having trouble with your PayPal IPN, you can save the exchanges between your server and PayPal and examine them. Now don't forget to save your store. Now there are parameters for the front end, much like Joomla's article parameter. Now we'll look at the parameters for the component MyMuse. We can set what the default layout will be. When we present our products, we want them to be in a list, one per row or in several columns. Now MyMuse presents the products much like Joomla does in sections, categories, articles. We use sections, categories, and products. MyMuse creates two sections, one to present your products under artists and one to present them as a catalog. If you point a menu at a section, then you have these options. And these are the defaults. Any menu can override these options. Should you show the section description? Should you show a section image? Should you show a list of categories and artists underneath that? Should you show empty categories? Should you show the category artist description? Should you show the category image? If you do, you can set a standard image height. If you leave this at 0, then MyMuse will not affect the image height. Should you show the number of products? This will place after the title of the category or artist, in parentheses, the number of products underneath that category. Then, do you want to show all the products underneath this section? If you do you want to show the product image? Do you want to set a standard height? Now you can point your menu at a category like blues or jazz, or at an artist. And if you do, then you have the options to show the category artist description, to show the image associated with it, and to set the height. You want to show all products underneath this? If you do you want to show the product image, and do you want to set a standard product height? Now when you're showing your list of products, you have some options. You can order them in two different ways, primary and secondary, and there's a few options like title reverse alphabetical, artist reverse alphabetical, most hits, and so on. So the default is to order them by artist first and then by title. You can set how many products will show up per page. And you want to show a filter. This is a little box where the customer could enter a search term to search your products. If they do, what field should it search on? You want to show the pagination. That's the previous and next links. You want to show pagination limit box. This allows the customer to choose how many products to show per page. Now you could point a menu at a product itself, or a link that comes in from your section or category page. These are the default options when you're showing an individual product. Should you show the image? Do you want to set the image height? Should you show the intro text? This assumes that you've divided your description into intro text with a read more link and then more text. And do you want to show review links? If you do have reviews, you can show the links beside the descriptions. And that's all our global component options. Don't forget to save. That's it for now. Next we'll look at entering some categories and setting up some products.